Hey gang, it's your old buddy Platt back with another Spirit Series video. Today we're going to head down South America and talk about Pisco. Pisco is a colorless to sometimes yellowish brandy produced in the wine-growing regions of both Peru and Chile. It was developed in the 1500s, or first developed in the 1500s, by Spanish settlers that had come to South America and kind of messed their old brandies back home. In the 1500s, when the Spanish were conquering South America, again, they missed certain things from back home, and they started bringing grapes, classic Spanish wine grapes, to the region so they could produce wine for themselves. At first, they found trouble finding regions that were suitable, but in Peru and Chile especially, or what they refer to as the Viceroyalty of Peru, they found certain regions in Peru and Chile that could grow grapes properly. Eventually, they also headed down to Argentina. The Viceroyalty of Spain took up a large swath of South America. The wine-growing regions were so productive, in fact, that they ended up challenging the wine industry back home in Spain for wine quality and production. Got a little pushback, so they started taking some of those grapes and distilling the wine, and that kind of leads to a controversy that's still alive today. Who can lay claim to Pisco? It's between Chile and Peru. Peru's initial claim was in 1572. There's a port in Peru, the port of Pisco, that at the time was shipping out what was referred to as aguardiente, unaged raw spirit. And they were saying, well, look, we were producing this back then, comes from the city of Pisco, or the port of Pisco, which is in Peru. It's our thing. Chile, however, points out that the term Pisco wasn't just used for that port. It was also in reference to a river or a valley, reference to a bird, also used to reference the clay pots that the Pisco was held in after production. And in their minds, well, it's kind of a generic term. And we were all kind of under Spain at the time. We were all kind of one group. Why can't we use it? Or that, Also, I believe they changed a city's name to Pisco, or threw Pisco in the title, saying, look, we've got a Pisco too. We can use Pisco. Where it comes into our importance to us is the labeling. Well, it can be labeled as Pisco. Internationally, here in the U.S., the European Union, most of the rest of the world, if it's an unaged brandy coming out of Peru or Chile, it can be labeled Pisco. What you won't see on the label, though, is the term Peruvian Pisco or Chilean Pisco. That you won't see. You'll still see on the label somewhere it'll denote what country of origin, but you won't see, like I said, Chilean Pisco. There is, however, though, a decent bit of difference between the two styles of Pisco, or each country has their own twist. First and foremost, Peru allows one distillation of Pisco, and you have to distill to proof. So if you're wanting it at 85 proof, you got to hit 85 or 80, whatever it is, and you can't cut it with water. Chile allows for multiple distillations if you like, and they also allow the use of water to cut to certain proof points. Peru allows aging, but only in what they call neutral cask, or a stainless steel glass, or steel, or a clay pot. They don't want it touching wood. Chile allows for the use of wood. Both places will age it. It doesn't come straight off the still straight into the bottle. They do rest it for a little while. Both countries have denomination of origins, or certain regions for production. Peru has 5 such regions. Chile has 2. Peru allows 8 different grape varietals to be used in production of Pisco, while Chile allows for 13. Missing something here. Peru, though, has a unique style of Pisco I wanted to run over real quick. Something called Mosto Verde. Mosto Verde, what they do is they'll create the wine. All Piscos, all brandies come from some form of wine. This, though, form, they do not allow the fermentation to complete. Fermentation starts, and then during some point during fermentation, they'll throw it in the still and distill it. A good way to think about it is, if you remember port, it's the same thing. They start with the wine, they start a fermentation, and usually a couple of days in, they'll add spirit in there to stop the fermentation. And in port, that leaves a lot of residual sugar left over, and that's why port is so sweet. Here, you're not adding spirit, but you're distilling, and there's still that liquid that's being distilled. There's still a lot of sugar, and the belief is that a lot of that sweetness carries over. But it's a unique style, and it's unique to Peru. They produce in Peru, not Chile. Pisco is quite popular in the mixology world. The most popular cocktail is the Pisco Sour. It is Pisco, lime juice, egg white, simple syrup, and bitters. It was quite the rage a few years back, but still today you'll see in a lot of nice high-end cocktail lounges. Several other cocktails out there. There's the Pisco Punch, the Terremoto, and a drink called Piscola. Basically, it's a Cuba Libre, but with Pisco instead. It's just Pisco, cola, and lime. The particular Pisco we're going to try today is called Machu Pisco, kind of a play on the term Machu Picchu, which is a historical site in the mountains of Peru. The company was founded in 2006 by two sisters, Melanie and Lizzie. This particular Pisco is a product of 100% Quebranta grapes. It has been rested for 1 year before bottling. Like I said, Pisco does not go into the traditional wooden barrel and, well, we'll throw it in the barrel house for a year or two and then we'll come back. But it doesn't go straight to the bottle either. It's allowed to rest. Think of it kind of like when you open a bottle of wine, you want to let it breathe before you start pouring. Here they allow the spirit to rest. This one, 1 year. So let's give it a try. This has a classic nose. Again, something of a single distillation. There's kind of a rawness to it. There's a little almost heat on the nose, even though this is 80 proof. Remember, this one, like it says, is a Peruvian Pisco, so we know it's only been distilled once. We know it hadn't been cut. So this is, even though it's rested for a year, this has really been untouched off the still. And so if you've ever been around the distillation process, you could tell by the smell that this almost smells fresh off the still, even though it's rested for a year. Let's give it a try. That's pleasant. A little sweetness up front. Yeah, it's still, to me, it's a little raw. Not in a bad sense. I've been to enough distilleries. I've tasted drink off the still before, so it doesn't. You know, I kind of almost like the taste now, but some people might be a little much. It's drinkable. It's, even though it's a little raw, it's still somewhat clean too. It sits more on the front of my palate. It hadn't worked its way to the back. Short, medium-ish finish. Overall, nice drink. I don't think it's complex enough to just sip like this. I do see where it'd be a really nice spirit to use in cocktails, and as someone who's had Pisco Punches, Pisco Sours, works good for that. But again, I don't know if this is something I would drink neat or in a snifter, even on the rocks per se. But clean enough where I think, for mixology purposes, works real well. Well, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please subscribe down below. Also, please like the video because it lets YouTube know we're putting out good content. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them in the comment section or you can always contact me on the Twitter page. Till next time, bottoms up.